Hi, welcome back. This is Diane.Boerstler. We are in we're the second part of module 8, which is bullet points. So we're finally to the point where we're going to do my favorite part, which is actually write the bullet points. While it's really important that you have an awesome title and it's a high click-through rate, the thing that's actually going to sell your product, in conjunction with your images, are your bullet points. The description is usually, either more for building your brand story, building trust and rapport, but the bullet points need to keep them reading. So if you haven't already, make sure that you've gone through your competitive analysis for your trance words, your hot button words, and all of the different uses and all the different little bits we pulled and the things we really liked, like ideas that we got from other bullet points. And you compiled those all into themes, okay, like we did in the previous video. If you need to go back and watch that, please do that before proceeding. Otherwise, you're not going to have the right information. And the whole point of this, and let me be very crystal clear about this, if you don't have the right information, if you're not telling them what they need to hear and showing them what they need to see before they buy, you're not going to make a lot of sales. Okay, so this is the grouping, going back and finding themes is an extremely important part of this. I don't write a listing without finding themes. And it would be a disservice to customers and a disservice to yourself and your products and your family to do that. So make sure that you are actually able to, know what your customer wants by doing the competitive analysis and finding themes. Second thing that we did, just as a reminder and a review, the end of Module 8, Part 1, was that we went through and after we grouped the themes, we figured out, so comfort and support was a theme. We grouped everything we learned, but what people needed to see underneath that. So we've essentially kind of pre-written what we call a bullet point framework, right? These are our 5 bullet points we need to focus on. These are not ready to be put up. If you put this up, you would not make sales. People would think that you were from a country where English wasn't a primary language, and we really need to make sure that your listing looks exceptional before it goes live on Amazon. Third, you need to make sure that you have your keywords. So what I did was I just reran my competitive buyer analysis from Scope, and I went through and I sorted for relevancy. Excuse me. And after sorting for relevancy, I went through and said, okay, this is not relevant. So this is not relevant, et cetera, et cetera. So for the ones that were relevant, I like to have those on like a notes page, right? So this is going to end up being my notes page, this page right here. I'm not going to actually write on this page. This is going to be my notes page, right? And I'm sorry, normally I wouldn't write on this page, just normally do a notes page. Today I need to be able to see this page plus our bullet points so I can kind of walk you through how we're going to use those, our bullet point templates. So you're going to see me using this page as well, at least for the time being. I might change my mind. Sorry, pardon me, still dealing with a funny cough. And then for the rest of these words, right? So what do you do with the rest of these words? You use them in your advertising. We know that people who are looking for camping gear or camping, they often aren't necessarily thinking about, I don't know what gear just popped up there. They aren't necessarily thinking about buying a toddler cot for their child in the tent. They may not even know it exists. They may not even know that it's affordable or that it's relevant or that it's useful. So you want to advertise under these words as well. So child camping chair, they're looking for gear for their kids, right? For camping. So if they see child camping chair, they may say, oh, well, I really need a cot too now that I think about it. That way I'm not dealing with a whiny kid all day long. And I have 4 kids, so I'm not being judgmental of kids. I just know that sometimes when they don't sleep well, that's how it goes. Queen sheets. This was really interesting. I don't know why. People looking for queen sheets would need to buy a toddler bed, but maybe it's someone looking for a guest bed, or someone looking for queen sheets for the guest bed for their daughter and son-in-law or something who are coming into town, and then they realize they need a bed for the kid too. Camping gear again. So your security case. No idea. Maybe for travel. But I mean, if you go through and you think about the relevance, that allows you to think of whether or not you should put this into your listing. Is this pertaining specifically to the product, or is this just an advertising keyword? Most of these are just advertising keywords. We know, like if they're looking for a travel pillow, they may also be looking for some travel gear for their kids, right? So I took the keywords that I felt were the most relevant, that are going to get the highest sales, and I like to paste them up here. That way I'm not going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth between this and the buyer's keyword analysis, right? So what we can do now that we have this framework, is we can look over here and very simply say, okay, comfort and support, unique design, no metal bar needed, multiple strips material. right? So if this was the only one that offered that, if this is like a new product upgrade, basically, so everybody else is using metal bars or no support at all, and you're the first one who has this, the multiple strips of material to cradle the child underneath the cot, then you could go with the only, right? I don't know that we're the only ones, but I'm going to assume we are in just a minute. The other thing you can do as a first bullet point here is you can go through, let's see here. Let's see, I probably wouldn't use that one for the first one. This is a good one for a first one. So you can say, proven science meets Mother Nature. So in this particular case, you'd say something like, let's see here, public support meets ultimate travel durability or something like that, right? And you always want to have something up front here. If you can do one word, that's great. If you can do 2 words, that's great. 3 words, 4 words, 5 words is okay. I try not to make it longer than that unless I'm using a lead-in hook afterwards. Okay, so you'll see some examples of where I have. So you can say the best, toddler cot for, and this is kind of a uses bullet point. When you're doing a uses bullet point, just as a heads up, you want to have the things that the problems that it solves in all caps if possible, as long as there's not too many. You can also do ideal for that, right? We talked about that. First thing we need to do, though, before we jump into any of these, is create our hypnotic anchor. So let's talk about that. Hypnotic anchor, right? What are some great hypnotic anchors? We've talked about making those. I think that was in module 7, if I'm correct. Oh no, module 6. Sorry, it's in module 6. So we can look up here and we can look at what we've already had some. So we had like Titan Force, no sag durability, right? That's a hypnotic anchor. We have, let's say hypnotic anchors. That's one that I liked. We also had cloud support, which was excellent. So cloud support technology, right? So cradles, or little, remember you always have to explain it. Cradles your little one in a cloud-like cuddle, so they sleep the whole night through. I would even say so they feel protected, so they feel comforted and sleep the whole night through, right? So that's the hypnotic anchor. So what we could do with that then is, this could be right here, cloud support technology. Okay, we would say that, and we would say the benefit. Okay, so what would be the main benefit of this? So because you're on cloud, like also feel comforted and sleep the whole night through, so they feel comforted. Okay, so cloud support technology. Like being in mother's arms, something like that, right? So we're thinking of like what else would cause them to do this? So where else would they sleep the whole night through, basically? Well, they would do it in their mother's arms, hopefully. I'm guessing with 4 kids, that's my guess. Let's see here, cloud support technology, like being in mother's arms. Cradles your little one in a cloud-like cuddle so they feel comforted and sleep the whole night through. Unique. And then what I would do is I would go and do another hook right here. And I would say something like unrivaled comfort, superior support, right? Or unbeatable support. Okay. Let's see here. Custom design or uniquely designed. And then you could do the keyword. What's one of our keywords here? Let's see here. Toddler cots. And anytime you can combine them, that's even better. So you have toddler cots and toddler cots for travel. I'm just going to take that out. Let's see here. Toddler cots for travel. Have no metal. Let's see here. Replace metal bar. Let's see here. Our metal or free. See, this is how I do this. metal bar. And it's a lot harder when you're being recorded too. There's kind of that pressure, to do it right the first time. There's no metal bar. Instead, we provide optimal support, optimal spinal alignments with however many, let's say there's six comfort straps beneath and of course we'll go back through and rewrite these. Beneath the main cot, top. There's a specific word for it. I'll go back and look. So we would say that, and then we would just leave it alone for a minute, okay? Just to get any really great ideas, you just leave it alone. Okay, so our first one, we used a hypnotic anchor. So we can say sleeping, cloud support technology, like being in other terms. And so you want to start off with the keyword, obviously, sleeping cot for kids. Cradles your little one in a cloud-like cuddle so they feel comforted and sleep the whole night through. Unrivaled comfort, unbeatable support, uniquely designed toddler cot for travel, uses no metal bar. Let's see here. Let's see. There's no metal bar. Swat it out for fixed comfort straps to provide optimal spinal, and I'll tap that. Optimal spinal alignment. Let's see here. So let's say 6 subsurface. Surface comfort straps provide optimal spinal alignment. Okay, so that's our first bullet point. And we may go back and revise that. I'll definitely go back and look at it again. Let's see here. So then I go up and I say, okay, review. What are we doing word count wise? We have 311. We're at 250 to 350. Okay, that's our goal. So let's get the subsurface like this. Let's see here. And if you want to, you can even put something like revolutionary cloud support technology. You could say new cloud support technology. Anything to grab their attention. I like to say upgraded cloud support technology. It's especially important, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it, that if you have to change your product and fix a flaw, that you put upgraded in front of it and then explain what you fixed, right? And there are a lot of sellers out there who are constantly upgrading their product, right? And the other thing that I like to do, just so I see what it's actually going to be like, is what it's going to read like is Amazon Ember is the font that Amazon uses, right? And then they usually use size 11. So you're going to see what it's actually going to look like. And then you have to consider, okay, they extend their bullet points a little bit longer. So really you're looking at more like that. Okay, so I think I have it at about 7 there. So upgraded. So that's our first bullet point. Congratulations. Multiple sources of material. Okay. Okay, so safety. So let's go up here. I like to look, whenever it comes to safety, I want to see specifically what people said. A breeze easily pulls apart, stashes away kiddos, little ones. They kept talking about collapsing. So we'll say something else, and we'll say, and again, this is for your hook before you use, or before you get into your actual hypnotic bullet point templates, okay? So let's see here. You could say won't collapse, and you could go into a customers say, right? So customers say blah 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 blah. You know, have testimonials there. We don't have any testimonials right now. So and I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Let's see here. So what's in it? The easiest. Your product is more expensive. So the knockoff, the jaded let's see here. So something else about the jaded customers is instead of saying tried everything, you can also have like the worried parent is kind of the same thing. Their brain reacts like a jaded customer. So what's in it? XYZ secret. Why Scandinavians? So we could do don't. Let's see here. Uses. Let's see here. So we're going to go with the opposing words. Foldable. Let's see here. Child's bed cot won't collapse. Okay, so you see I did that. I grabbed a keyword. So I said foldable, right? It's foldable, but it won't collapse. Those are two opposing things. People think, well, if it's foldable, it's going to collapse. If it collapses, that means it's foldable. And then we just plugged a keyword in here. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. And we had one already written for this, I think. Where did it go? Oh well, I'll start from scratch. So we can start with while most. So while most. Keyword. What's our keyword? Sleeping cots. Toddler cots for child, I think we're used. Sleeping cots for kids are weak, flimsy, and easily collapse for tip over when stood upon. Our, let's see here, sleeping cot for children has, and then you'd want to use, you want to quantify this here, right? So you want to use like either additional anchors or say there's a specific type of technology, or say you want to say why it works. Has four, let's see here, has, let's say the corner has like has like three different has tri-bar posts for extra added stability so it won't collapse or tip over, even if your child tosses and turns all night, right? Okay, so let's see here, has, let's say it has six tri-bar posts. Okay, so there's bullet point number 2. Look at that, you've written 2 now. Awesome. Okay, so let's say upgraded, we can say new. I'm going to put new there instead because it's a new product. And again, this is a fake product. It's based on other ones I've written before, by the way. It's just a fake product. I do not source anything, just so you know that my clients source. So if there's ever something that I do source that my clients come to me with, I let them know there might be a conflict of interest, and they usually have me write it anyway. Let's see here. The other thing you can do is if there's a word you see over and over and over and over again, right? You can do a 3-track, right? So a 3-track for me means you'd say sturdy, right? Or in the case of like a speaker, you'd say powerful, right? Just one word. And that gets them reading. Like, what is powerful? What's sturdy? What do they mean by that? Sturdy. I like tank durable. That's one of my favorites. If you ever see a list that says tank durable, or like the muscle car, the Maserati of, that's probably mine. Let's see here. So we're going to say the sturdiest. Foldable child's bed cot won't collapse. Okay, so let's go with that. So you can do that as well, but you can also start with foldable child's bed cot. It depends on what your people are saying. So as you know, we saw sturdiest a lot, and we saw foldable a little bit. But the reason they're concerned about it being foldable is because they're concerned about it collapsing. So it's important to reassure them that it's the sturdiest. I'm hoping that makes sense to everybody. Okay, so let's see here. We also need to mention jumped on, let bend, warp, locks into place. Post, add, lock into place, adding extra security so it won't collapse. Class check over, even if your child tosses and turns all night, okay, or even if your child jumps on it. I don't want to make the claim about a child jumping on it. Let's see here, so it won't collapse. Over or bend was one. Bend even if your child tosses and turns all night. Okay. Even if your child is a restless sleeper. No, even if you're, a restless sleeper. But we don't want to, the reason I remove tosses and turns is we're going to go through, or like you want to go through your listing and say, okay, is this going to in any way drive people away? Is this going to repel people? And some people might think, oh, well, you know, if they're worried about people tossing and turning all night, then maybe it's not the most comfortable thing, right? Okay, so let's see here, studies one class, and we just actually use that indicate actual weight limit. So for this one, what they're concerned about, and you can probably guess this, but they're not necessarily concerned about the sturdiness as much, even though because we used that in the first one, we were able to combine those. With this particular one, they're wondering about the materials and the weight limit. So for this one, let's go see what we want to use. So let's go with the only here. The only, and then what's our keyword? Let's go for it with our camping one. The only child camping bed. Let's see here. Child camping bed. And they're concerned about weight, right? So we can say extra large, right? We can say massive. We can say full size. Okay, what else are we going to say? What do we see them say is the most important? I don't know. Okay, so this is actually about durability. So let's say tank durable. the only child camping bed guaranteed, crafted from titanium alloy and rip beam alloy with a rip stop. This actually sounds like a really good product. I'm gonna go make one of these. Just kidding. With a rip stop fabric surface that holds up to, and however many pounds. Let's say 65 pounds. Let's see here. So we want to quantify this, right? So what else do we want to quantify it for? The average up to 65 pounds. Let's see here. And up to a 65-pound, let's say 5-foot tall child. So let's say the average height of you can say like a 10-year-old, right? So it will last you a long, long, long time, right? And you could go tank durable, and you could start here, and so we could say let's see here. So for our only, we're going to combine two of our bullet points here. So for tank durable, we can say while although most toddler cots are unsturdy, unreliable, and let's see here, are made from cheap materials. Most toddler cots rip, bend, or break. That's something someone said after a few uses. Our keyword, our let's see here, sleeping cot for, we already have that one. Let's just say children's cot, our camping cot. Camping cot is the only one, and we can take that out. Our child's camping bed. Let's go back here. Camping bed is the only one crafted from titanium alloy with a ripstop fabric surface that holds a 65-pound, 5-foot tall child. The average height of a 10-year-old, and I'd look that up. I'm not going to right now, but I'd always look that up. So let's see here. So instead of saying it will last you a long, long time. Okay, so we have 3 bullet points written. Ready to our title and another module. We have 3 bullet points written. So tank durable is awesome, right? So, but we want to have something else that will lead in. So we can say although most, let's see, toddler cots rip, and then lead in from there. They're expecting to see more than one thing. Okay. Okay, so next one, we have that. Let's see. Storing and travel size. These are always really fun. So we're going to have to combine in order for us to get a money back guarantee thing in here, which, by the way, is always your first year 5th points. Back guarantee, lifetime. Okay. Always, always, always mention what's going to happen if they don't like it, what's going to happen if it breaks, what's going to happen if like you're knocking them off the fence, you're making it risk-free. Try it risk-free. So sorry, I just jumped down there. I just need to make that point. So for the travel one, we always have a ton to collapse in here. So let's see here. The perfect travel size kids cot, right? Folds down. Oh, let's see here. Folds down, and someone had given me a great word if you remember. Stashes away. Folds and stashes with ease. Folds and stashes with ease, right? Let's see here. And instead of saying the perfect size, we want to say lightweight because they're looking at one, it has to fold, right? And one, it has to be able to travel with them wherever they're going. So if they're going on an airplane, they're going to want something that's lightweight, right? And then you also want to see how it folds and it stashes away. Folds and stashes away with these. Okay. So notice how these are all things that we got from our competitive analysis. I'm going to keep bringing that up. Let's see. A breeze was one. Let's see here. storage travel size. So let's say it's I'm just gonna use pounds for my things because I don't know I can't quantify what it would be. Let's say it's like so 65 pound, 5 foot tall. 5 feet tall is 60 inches. 60-inch long by let's say it's 32-inch wide. Let's see here. Travel cot. Let's see, kids travel cot. Kids travel cot. And again, I'm just making up that keyword. You would want to grab your own. Kids travel cot. Easily folds down to a tiny, and let's say it folds down to 20 inches by 32 inches. 32 inches is 3 feet. Yeah, 20 inches by 32 inches, making travel a breeze. Right? And actually, we would probably put like a breeze on that. We could put it, no, let's see, travel a breeze. See, I go back and forth and question myself too. Don't feel bad. Allowing your child to feel right at home, no matter where life takes you. And then here, I would say ideal for, right, because it's another hook. We're going to go down to our uses. So ideal for grandparents, camping, moving, or any place your child needs to stay up off cold, dirty floor. And I had it and feel it right at home here. Okay. And no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, so here we go. Close down to 22. Make this easier to read. Tell child. Okay. Okay, we have written that one, right? We're done. Okay, so my favorite money back guarantees. Did it even include me in here? Oh, just so you know, if you could, you can always wrap this into a customer say bullet point. And I don't have anything to customer said because it's a new listing, but you always want to go back and optimize. So you can say try it risk-free, money back guarantee, and then here you could say, customers say, and then you'd say, like testimonial blurb, and never take the whole thing, just take the hot point, right? Testimonial blurb, testimonial blurb. Actually, sorry, I'm going back to this like I want to do one word at the beginning if I can. So lightweight. So featherweight might be good too if you want to quantify what happens with me. Feather light. And weighs just, let's say it weighs just 3 pounds. Okay, so I forgot to put in the weight. Sorry. So usually I'm used to doing this all by myself or just up in front of a room. So it's interesting writing on here, but I'm happy to be with you folks. Testimonial. You should see the last class. It was a lot less smooth. I'm getting better at this every day. Okay, so testimonial. Let's say you put in a couple testimonial blurbs. You try to get at least 3 in there. Remember, you want it to be specific, spicy, and outcome focused, right? So, and you want it to come from your primary market. You don't want to have be targeting moms between the age of 35 and 65 and have a grandpa writing a testimonial, right? And you can tell by their language. Okay, so testimonial blurb. Okay, so you could do that. You could also say, if you don't want to say customers because that's kind of cold, you can say fans say. If you want to target their identity, you could say parents say, right? So customers, fans, or parents. If let's say you're doing a bike product, you'd say pro bikers say, pro bicyclists say. Bikers. Anyhow, so someone says, basically. Okay, so we're not going to use that. So, but for this one, but I'm going to show you how to do it real quick just in case. Fans say, I guess for this one, I like identity. So parents say, testimony. So you can. Okay, so you can. That's a good transition right there. Pay attention to that. So you can rest assured that you're buying the best main keyword again. Okay, so the best, what's our main keyword here? I think we were using toddler cot, sleeping cot for kids. Let's go for that one. Sleeping cot for kids. Guaranteed. Let's see here. Sleeping cot for kids. Okay. Then I like to say you'll love it. You can say you love it, or you can put something in here about, if it's not too long already, you'll love it, or you'll love how it helps your child feel safe and comfortable sleeping in a new environment. Let's see here. It's the most important thing. You can also say less support, proper spinal alignment for happy waking hours, or your money back, right? Okay, so let's see here, try it risk-free, and you can say like 90 days, you can say 1 year, you can say risk-free. It's just going to depend on, see, I like saying try it. So 90-day money-back guarantee, right? 1 year, lifetime. Okay, so let's say this is a, let's do a couple other ones here because I don't want to just stop with the 5 and leave you guys be. I want you to be able to see how to do all of this. So we've gone over we've gone over opposing keywords, right? We've gone over uses, we've gone over the hypnotic anchor, we've gone over customer stay, we've gone over, so let's don't XYZ, do this instead. Let's do that one. Don't settle for a cheap, flimsy cot. Invest in your child's happiness, right? So that would just be a hook that you would do there, right? Like this is your hook at the beginning. Cheap, flimsy cot, invest in your child's happiness. Everybody wants to invest in their child's happiness. Now let's go talk about that for a minute. Happiness. Happiness is kind of a bland word. What are we going to do with bland words? What are we going to do, right? What do we do? You already know. I can hear you saying it. I'm sure you're saying it. Emotional words wheel. Okay, so go to our emotional words wheel. Okay, and we're looking for surprised, happy, right? Aroused, cheeky, free, joyful. Joyful's a good one. Okay, let's go to, where did it go? Oopsie, wrong one. Cheap, flimsy, cot. Invest in your child's, and instead of invest in your child's happiness, you can say invest in a joyful child. Invest in joyful waking hours. You could also say something else that, like, if people, this is kind of a deeper thing to think about, but like, well, what else? How can you tell somebody feels joyful, right? So you can say invest in more smiles, right? Invest in more smiles. Invest in more joyful hours. Full hours with me. Let's see here. With the, I'm just going to put in keyword because the keywords, and sometimes I do this. See how I'm doing this right here? Just if you're not paying attention, pay attention to this. So this right here, I put in keyword. If sometimes I just need to be in the flow of writing the transformation, the benefits, and the objections, and everything along those lines, right? And so what I'll do then is I'll just insert keyword. Then I go back through and find them all, and then I actually insert the keyword from my competitive buyer keyword analysis that makes the most sense. Okay. So you can do that too. You don't have to worry about juggling all of this at one time. If you just take it step by step and you insert your keywords later, if that's easier for you, that's fine. If you're more in the flow, if like you just want to put toddler cot, toddler cot, toddler cot, toddler cot for every single thing, and you go back through later and change out the keywords, that's great too. That's a great way to do it. That way you're checking off that you have all the keywords that you want in there, right? And again, readability is far more important than keyword stuffing. Okay, if you just stuff your listing with keywords, you know, and that may be, if keywords are what made people buy, then you could just go through and say keyword hyphen, keyword hyphen, keyword hyphen, keyword hyphen, keyword hyphen, rank in Amazon, and then, you know, you'd be the top dog. But that's not how it works, obviously. So you want to make sure you're not keyword stuffing. Okay, so with the keywords, so I'm just going to say toddler cot, toddler daycare cot. Was actually something I just wrote about. With the toddler daycare cot that delivers your child a peaceful, joyful night's rest, right? And we want to do 3. So peaceful, joyful, and what other word can we grab here? Where we go? Okay. Peaceful, joyful, trusting, optimistic, content, playful. Let's see here. Value, courageous, creative, loving, thankful, sensitive, intimate, hopeful, aroused, free, curious, inquisitive, successful, playful. Let me see here. Peaceful, content would be a good one. Okay, getting these back up. Peaceful, joyful, and tonight's rest. I don't know that I like that totally, but I'm going to leave it right now. Can I just go back and change it? Okay. So you have to ask for yourself, is it more important to them to deliver something to the child, or is it more important to them to have a peaceful child? Make your cot that allows you to sleep, allows your child to sleep the night away, so they arise peaceful, joyful, and smiling in the morning. Okay, so you can say that. Okay, so the XYZ secret to, oh, sorry, the more you use it, the more, so let's go here. Let's say, I'll just do this right here. So the more they sleep on it, the happier they'll feel, guaranteed to try it risk-free for 90 days and love it or your money back, right? So you could do that. So that's a don't settle for that you can use. Let's see here. Let's see here. The faster, the more. So we did the more, right? And you can do this as a separate bullet point too. But as you can see, I want you to see that you can just go through and, like, you know, short, like hook, short sentence, you know, using the words that we need to find in the color wheel, right? You know, hook, just like this is the hook right there. These don't all have to be separate bullet points. You can combine these, make even more powerful bullet points. And again, just to clarify, if you're new to writing on Amazon, we're writing way more than what we need in terms of bullet points, but we can actually use this down in the description. So for example, if you were to go through, and here's a little trick, if you were to go through and use every single one of these every single time and say, okay, well, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to use all 12 bullet points that I can every single time. And then you say, okay, but I know that these top 5 are the most important. So these 5 can go in your bullet points. And then the extra ones, right, can go in your listing. So we have this one that would be an extra one. We have this one that would be an extra one, and they're separated out, right? So, but I'll show you a different way to write your description too. But this works really well if you're doing EBC, right? That way you're like, oh, I have all of these. This is great. Let's see here. What's in it? How easily can I make it work? Let's see here. What's in it? Should we do what's in it bullet point? What's in it? And so then you say, I hate the word premium, but I'm going to use it right now because it works with toddler cots. Premium toddler cots works because, right? We tested it and perfected it until we created a proven, unique, proprietary system, including, and this would be a good one if you're going to talk about the titanium alloy wheels, the 6 tri-prong stability legs, 6 tri-prong stability legs. And I'm grabbing this from up here. I'm just changing this part right here because there's no ingredients. Let's see here, 6 tri-prong stability legs, 6 tri-prong titanium alloy stability legs, rip, stop, fabric, triple stitching, and then you can reiterate the our hypnotic anchor. So our hypnotic anchor up here was cloud support technology, and cloud support spinal alignment. Ooh, I like that. Let's see here, cloud support spinal alignment technology. Let's see here, optimal spinal alignment. We already have that in there. Okay, so you can do this. What's in it, right? And you lead into why it works. The whole point of what's in it is why it works. What's in it doesn't matter unless you justify why it works. I know a lot of people say, well, everybody just wants to know what's in my nutraceutical supplement, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, everybody just wants to know what material it's made of. No, they want to know what material it's made of or what's in it because they want to see why that makes it work better, right? We can take advantage of that to make it work better, to show how it works better. Okay, the easiest. Sorry, I grabbed some water there. Going on to the next bullet point. So here's the easiest. Let me make sure I didn't skip any up here yet. Okay. Did that one. Oh, we're going to do the XYZ secret too. So we're going to do easiest, and the XYZ secret to, right? So let's do the XYZ secret to a well-behaved child, a well-behaved traveler, right? Okay, so the XYZ secret. So what would the XYZ secret be? You could say one mom's secret to a well-behaved traveler, jet-setting family's secret to a well-behaved traveler. I like that one. We didn't see jet-setting, no. Let's say one grandma's secret to a well-behaved traveler. So you'd say, let's see, you could say the secret in front of that, but we can always pull something else out. Let's see here. Better behavior. Guaranteed. Better rest guaranteed. Rest guaranteed. Grandma's secret to a well-behaved traveler. Okay, let's see here. It's okay. It's great because it's a benefit, but all smiles, no tantrums. Okay, one grandma's secret to a well-behaved traveler. So this put in something that parents obviously would want and that they relate to rest. You always, I'm sure we all know parents, and you see like, or you hear them say, oh, well, their kid starts acting differently and they start screaming and they start crying and they, some people might say they're acting out or they're misbehaving. I just say they're exhibiting a different level of behavior just because of my background in psychology. So for this, we think, okay, well, what do parents relate that to? Well, they always say, my child didn't get good sleep, or they didn't sleep well last night, or they need a nap, right? And parents, for some reason, in their mind have anchored this, that smiles and tantrums are on two opposing spectra, is on one opposing spectrum, and it's not, but they think it's on one opposing spectrum, and that sleep is somehow the pendulum, sleep is somehow the weight that causes the pendulum to swing back and forth between smiles and tantrums. So let's say all smiles, no tantrums, and we'll go down to this one in just a minute. Okay, well-behaved toddler, well-behaved traveler. We can say 2A, well-behaved traveler. Okay, so this right here is the secret one. So you can say, you always want to start off with ever wonder why, right? Ever wonder, and we can actually make this go down. Make that smaller, well-behaved. So one grandma's secret, well-behaved. All smiles, no tantrums. One grandma's secret, well-behaved. Okay, we can make this big. Ever wonder why some kids are joyful, content. Let's go back to our word wheel again. Look at here. Joyful, content. Let's see here. So confident, respected, value, creative, loving. Let's use loving. Parents feel very unloved a lot of times when their kids scream. And so ever wonder why, let's see, we can actually position this way, let's see, and some are just plain grumpy, right? Okay. So we're going to position this, and some are just plain grumpy. We can see there's a better word for grumpy. Like, what's another word for angry? Mad, aggressive, frustrated, distant, critical, skeptical, numb, withdrawn, annoyed, infuriated. We can say infuriating. Let's go with infuriating. Nope, I grabbed the wrong one. Okay, we need both of them anyway. Plain infuriating. Okay, so go back over and look here, right? It's not because. It's not because they're simply, let's see, it's not because they're simply, let's say naturally, I like naturally happier. It's because they get good rest. They get the best rest of their lives. Okay, and look at the best rest of their lives every time they sleep on our cloud support cot. Okay, I apologize if you hear noise in the background. My kids just walked in the door. I'm going to keep recording because I really want to get this up to you. So the easiest, let's see here. The more, don't XYZ. We already did that one. What's in it? The easiest. Okay, so why would you use this? Plug and play simple. Okay, so why would you use the easiest and plug and play simple? With a cot, you might not. You might, if you found with this cot, for some reason, that there were lots of people saying, oh, it's too hard to assemble, right? Like if you have to assemble the cot, which would be a nightmare, it's too hard to assemble, or it's too complex, or it requires too many tools, or it's too hard to collapse, or it's too hard. Like if that was your objection, if that was the objection you were seeing in other listings when people were complaining about the other products, you'd want to just think about the easiest, right? The easiest, plug and play, simple. So, this is pretty much about, what does it take to use it, and am I capable of doing it? Okay. So let's see here. The easiest, plug and play, simple. Let's see. Uh, let's see here. Quickly, the other cot quickly, easily, and effortlessly snaps together. Um, no tools required. Even a kindergartner, and instead of saying even a kindergartner, we even handed it to a kindergartner. They had it ready for sleep in under 5 minutes, right? You just something like that. So with this one, it really doesn't apply that much. But you have a really great, really great example here. Like if you have something that does require assembly, or people think will require assembly. Extra bullet points. And the other thing you can do with these extra bullet points is you can go to like Splitly, which I love Splitly. So much. Actually, I have a Splitly package that I offer because I love it so much that helps people split test. And you can split test your other bullet points, right? And say, oh, okay, well, what happens if I run this set? Like swap out some of these for some of these. If you're unsure, you can always go split test them. I think it's like between $49 and $97 a month. It's well worth it. Our average increase for that is somewhere between like $18,000 to $35,000 a month. When we go through, we split test bullet points when clients request that. So, as someone who is someone who is working with me on this, is more of a, like I'm training you to do this as opposed to, you being my client. I would highly recommend you go and do this. It's really not that hard to set up. Anyhow, so we have the easiest, right? Let's see here, and then we have buying knockoffs will cost you more. I love this. I'm trying to see it more often. Offs will cost you more. Okay, and you can say unrivaled quality and unbeatable value, but let's see here. With this particular one, you want to say best value. Buying knockoffs will cost you more. Okay, so you're going to talk about why your product's worth more than your competitors. And this would be another good headline for like where did we go with this? While most sleeping cots for kids are weak, flimsy, and easily collapse, tip over, and sit upon, requiring replacement. Requiring replacement. Or sleeping cot. So you could use this as a hook to this one, right? So I'm just going to copy this down so you don't have to watch me write this thing that I'm going to write exactly the same way again, for the most part. Okay, so while most sleeping cots for kids are weak, flimsy, and easily, so you could do best value by knockoffs will cost you, right? And you could just put this down. You could use this in your, let me go through why you would use this. Sorry. Buying knockoffs will cost you. You want to use this bullet point when you have other competitors selling an identical product. Okay. And by identical, I mean it looks identical and it does the same thing, but yours is of higher quality, and you need to make that extremely apparent. Because let's say, for example, let's say you have a pour over coffee pot, and with that pour over coffee carafe, your competitors are using like thin, flimsy glass, and you're using BPA borosilicate, right? And BPA borosilicate costs a lot more to source than cheap, flimsy glass. So you're going to want to talk about that, right? Let's say that you have this job cotton, like we talked about this before. Let's say the legs are made of titanium alloy and there's 6 of them instead of 4. You're going to want to point that out. People don't necessarily just see things from the pictures, which is why pictures aren't the best thing to sell. You still have to have an explanation for why this is the best, right? Okay, so there's that one. Let's go to jaded customers. We love this one. Tried every, you could do tried everything for toddler bed, but you can come up with something more interesting. This actually works, right? Let's see here. So I would say tired of flimsy, uncomfortable, uncomfortable other cots. This actually works. Something like that. Let's see here. If all of the, and again, I would use whatever keyword you were going to use. If all the toddler cots have failed to keep your child resting through the nights, or make you want to pull your hair out, you'll feel relieved. Feel relieved, knowing ours isn't just some gimmick. It's tested, tried, tested, and I'd say and parent approved to we to uh, to support. You can say quickly, effortlessly, easily for certain things, but I'm going to say to parent approved all night sleep support at home or while traveling. Okay, so you could say that. So let's see here, tested, proven formulation. It's the same exact thing, but you want to use tested and proven formulation more with anything you put on the body or in the body. So, that's one of my favorite ones to use. I'm sure you could find another way to use it, but you wouldn't have like those little, you wouldn't have like Legos and say tested and proven formulation. These have to make sense. Last bullet point should always be a compelling guarantee. I'll tell you some secrets. I love to offer lifetime guarantees. We offer them on all of our products. We don't question it. We almost never get returns. Okay. The reason and our returns are way under 1%. The reason why you would use the last, right, is people are worried they're going to have to go back and buy another one again. Okay. And I'm sure I've said that. But you need to have a compelling guarantee. If any one of your competitors has the same price and better copy and they have like a lifetime guarantee and you have like a 1-year guarantee, who do you think is going to win? Okay, guarantee is about knocking people off the fence. It's about saying, I've got your back. You can trust my products. I'll do what's right by you. No matter what, I'm going to replace it or I'm going to refund you. Okay, you can do a 90-day money back guarantee or a 30-day money back guarantee, a 30-day try it before you commit guarantee, and then a lifetime warranty. Okay, there are some products obviously that you wouldn't think you would do that. I have clients though, like for example, I was writing for one earlier today who has a glass pour over coffee brew system, and they're offering a lifetime guarantee on a glass product. That is bold to do that. However, they know that their product is of the highest quality and they only source products of the highest quality. So just something to consider if you can possibly do it, put in a lifetime guarantee. But I don't think we did the last right here. Let's see here, and we could, so let's do it. The last toddler bed, again, grab your own keyword that you need to put in there. The last portable toddler bed you'll ever need, right? Lifetime guarantee. Well, most, and like we talked about this is kind of the same as above, right? Let's see here. Let's go with a little bit of different bullet point here. Let's say at XYZ Child Beds, that's our name apparently, at XYZ Child Beds, we're on a mission to provide you with the longest lasting camping and travel, kids camping and travel gear. Kids camping and travel gear that delivers your child the utmost comfort. And actually, I would probably go back here and do something a little bit. You know what they say, happy child, happy life, right? And XYZ child beds, kids beds, let's see, kids beds, I speak capitalized kids business, sorry. Kids beds, we're on a mission to provide you with the longest lasting kids camping and travel gear that delivers your child the utmost comfort. Okay. Go ahead and try this risk-free. We guarantee you'll love it. You guarantee it'll outlast your child. We don't say outlast child because that's not good. We did outlast. With kitchen products, a lot of times we'll say we guarantee it'll outlast your kitchen, which is a good one. Go ahead and try this risk-free. We guarantee it'll last long enough to pass on to the next generation, or we'll replace it. No questions asked. Okay, so we've got all of this. Just so you know, you just wrote, look at that, You just wrote your description. Okay, so in the next one, I will refer back to this, and we will go and use this as the description, right? And I'll also show you how to write a hypnotic, and you can use this for an EBC description too. I'll also show you how to write a hypnotic, it's all of them, hypnotic nested loop story, right? So let's go do that, and I will see you on the next video. If I can get this one to stop. This is like a chronic thing that goes on here.